I have a story, strange but true, that I'd like to share with you. I set the stage to begin my show in Athens, Greece, so long ago.
Now, let me take you back in time, when the Duke named Theseus was in his prime. The Duke at Athens and was in top command. He guided his people with a firm, steady hand.
The queen named Hippotolea would soon share his life. In just 4 days they'd be husband and wife. Throughout this great city the excitement grew. A huge feast was proposed, entertainment too. These arrangements were made at a feverish rate, but the business of governing would not wait.
A man named Aegus burst into the room. His face was furrowed with fury and gloom. His daughter Hermia felt the strain. She knew her father was there to complain.
Passionate love thoughts enveloped his mind. He cherished Hermia, that was clear. So did Demetrius, who brought up the rear. Aegus bowed low to the Duke and confided,
"My daughter won't marry the one I decided. Demetrius is the mate I chose. Yet this poor man, she snubs her nose. She wants to be Lysander's wife. I won't allow it, not on your life. I tell you, Duke Theseus, this is the last straw. I come to beg the power of the law. Or prepare to die, that is the decree."
The noble Duke rose from his lofty throne.
"Your behavior, young lady, I cannot condemn. You're making your father very irate. And on this matter there will be no debate. Fathers choose husbands, that is the rule. Now marry Demetrius, don't be a fool."
Poor Hermia pleaded in tragic despair. She thought this rule was completely unfair.
I despise Demetrius. I'm devoted to handsome Lysander. This love in my heart cannot be swayed. To marry another would be a charade.
"I said there's no choice. You'll forfeit your life, or in convent spend the rest of your days. There will be no delays. You must decide soon."
This law I defy. I'll become a nun. I'll even die.
The atmosphere was very tense. Then Lysander spoke out in his own defense.
"I'm as rich as Demetrius, and as well born. Hermia's love for me you must not scorn. And furthermore, I wish to say, Demetrius loved Helena until yesterday. He courted the lady and won her soul. I tell you, Demetrius has no self-control."
"I've heard enough of this talk. I'll speak to him on this, but you better take stock. The law of Athens will not be defied. By my wedding day, you'll have to decide."
The Duke and his group then quickly departed. Hermia was desolate and broken-hearted.
"Don't cry, your tears I will soothe, for the course of true love never did run smooth. An aunt of mine lives 7 leagues away. We could go to her place without delay. She has no children, not even one. She loves me as though I were her son. There we shall marry, and end this sorrow. Run away with me at twilight tomorrow."
Hermia, whose face was tear-stained and pale, glowed with new hope.
I won't fail. Lysander, I vow to Cupid's bow. Tomorrow night I'll be ready to go. We'll meet in the forest, and then into the darkness we shall disappear. Together, my dear, we both shall flee. At your aunt's home I shall marry thee. My sweet Lysander, I shall no longer grieve.
Then they kissed goodbye and turned to leave.
They hadn't taken a single pace when the two were greeted by a familiar face. It was Helena, Hermia's best friend. She looked like she was at her wit's end.
"Hermia, Demetrius is my life, but he dotes on you. I'll never be his wife. Oh, teach me, Hermia. Tell me what to do. If only I were as beautiful as you."
Don't cry. I guarantee you, I can't stand your guy. I frown on him coldly, yet he loves me still. I love Lysander, and I always will.
Then Lysander spoke out. He was gracious and kind.
"I'll tell you, dear friend, what's on my mind. We're running away tomorrow night. It's the only way to solve our plight."
With that, the two left, content as could be. Poor Helena was in agony.
"Demetrius loves Hermia. This is far more than I can bear. How can I get him to love me instead? I'll tell Demetrius of their scheme. He'll thank me for sure, then I'll be supreme."
So off she ran, her heart on fire, to find Demetrius, her lifelong desire.
Now all this time, not far away, 6 jolly men were practicing a play. Nick Bottom was there, and so was Tom Snot. Robin Starveling, the tailor, was also about. Frantic Flute and Snug added to the din. Then Peter Quince called.
A play's been requested for the Susanna's Bride. We haven't much time.
Peter Quince cried.
Their wedding is soon, so we'll have to act fast. Now listen as I read out the names of the cast. Nick Bottom, the weaver, your role is to be Pyramus, a lover, as you'll soon see, a lover most scared that kills himself for love.
Nick was ecstatic. The role felt like a glow.
A lover! It's such a great part. I'll give the ladies a change of heart. I'll have them all in showers of tears. They'll remember my acting for many years. My Pyramus will be hard to resist. But proceed, dear Quince. Go on with your list.
Francis Flute, you'll take Thisbe's role. I want you to give it your heart and soul.
Flute was excited, his eyes sparkled bright.
What is Thisbe? A wandering knight? Oh no.
Quince replied,
Thisbe's a she. I'm madly in love with Pyramus, you see. I'll not play a woman.
Francis Flute sneered.
Can't you see I've started a bid?
Let me be Thisbe.
Bottom shouted with joy.
I'll be the girl as well as the boy. I can speak like a lady. I'll be sweet as a dove. Oh, Pyramus, you are my love.
No way. You'll be the guide. I'm the director and you must comply.
Then Quince turned to Snug.
In our tale, where you'll be the lion in our show.
Need the script now. It'll take me quite a while to learn, for I am slow to study, I implore.
Don't worry. All you do is roar.
Nick Bottom jumped up and down with glee.
That fearsome beast I could be. I'd growl so loud they would never complain. They'd beg me to do it again and again. See, I told you, much better than Snub.
You scared the ladies, and that's wrong.
Then I will roar as soft as a nightingale's song. Oh, oh. I know the women will love my technique.
You're Pyramus. And that ends the debate. Any more of this talk I'll not tolerate. We meet in the woods tomorrow night and rehearse our play by moon silver light.
Dragged on to the following eve, the 4 desperate lovers prepared to leave. Lysander and Hermia met as was planned, then trudged through the forest, hand clutching hand. Demetrius followed the couple's route, Helena chased after in a hot pursuit. They all moved through the woods unknown, but these mortals were not alone.
And if they look closely and listen with care, they have heard the rustling in the bushes out there. Perhaps they have seen the shimmer of wings and many other magical things. For in the dark woods as the humans took flight, the fairies hurled revels into the night. Oberon was the king of this fairy land, and the little spirits jumped to his every command.
But for fairies too, life's not always serene. Oberon had quarrelled with Titania, his queen.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania,
he said. The queen paused as her fairies fled.
Why are you here?
She cried in disdain.
All you do is argue and complain. Since the start of Midsummer we've had this feud. It's put all nature in an angry mood.
Then change it! You have the cure. Your stubbornness I'll not endure. Fill your Oberon's heart with joy. I do but beg your servant boy. Come now, Titania, it's my only request. He'll be my helper, and we'll end this unrest.
Titania's anger was acute.
It's not that easy to end our dispute. You do not seem to comprehend. The boy is the son of a very dear friend. She was in my service, but alas, she was human and had to die. I promised her I'd raise her son, and I won't give him to anyone. The fairy land buys not the child of me. Come hither, my elves, away we shall flee.
Then Titania left with her fairy lot.
I'll get my revenge, but I'll need some help to change my bad luck.
So he called for his sprite, a fairy named Puck. Robin Goodfellow was Puck's real name. In the world of magic, he held much acclaim. For Puck was always playing jokes on all the unsuspecting folks. But this was no time for glee, as the Fairy King began his plea.
I need you to find this unusual flower. I'm in frantic need of its magical power. It's called Love in Idleness. My little sprite, it's purple in colour, though it used to be white. When sleeping her eyes are streaked with its juice, a powerful love potion is set loose. I'll repay my queen, I'll observe her sleep in the forest green, then drop the nectar into her eyes. When Titania awakens, she'll have a surprise. The next thing she sees, be it bull, wolf or bear, she'll suddenly feel a love most rare. I will not cancel this magical spell till she gives me the boy, then all will be well.
This flower I'll find. I can do it so fast it will bubble your mind. I'll search everywhere and try hard to please.
Then Puck fluttered off into the breeze.
As Oberon revealed in his spiteful scheme, Demetrius raced in on another theme. Helena followed a few steps behind. I pray you, my darling, change your mind. I have, to you, my love unfurled. For you, Demetrius, are all my world. I reported their plan. I did my part. I beg of you now, give me your heart. Demetrius erupted like a raging cyclone. Get out of my life. Leave me alone. I told you before, you make me ill. I love Hermia, and I always will. By now, poor Helena was completely distraught. He'll change his mind. Demetrius stomped off. It's Hermia I must find. Helena sobbed and ran along behind.
Now Oberon was touched by Helena's plight, so he made a second promise that night.
This shameful conduct just won't do. I'll use the flower on this lad too. When the young man awakens, he'll see Helena's face, and it will be her he'll want to embrace.
Then the Fairy King searched the skies for his sprite.
When Puck returns, we'll make everything right.
Meanwhile, little Puck continued his probe. He looked like a blur as he circled the globe. Finally, in a distant place, Puck found the flower to end the chase. It smelled like sweet honey and had a soft touch. He cradled it gently, it was treasured so much. Then homeward bound he blazed through the night, soaring at the speed of light.
Welcome, wanderer! Well done! We'll do our tricks now, one by one. I know a bank where the wild flame blows, where oak slips and the nodding violet grows. There sleeps Titania some time of the night, lured in these flowers with dances and delight. I'll meet Titania for a rendezvous. This juice will make all my dreams come true. And you, my comrade, must find your use who gone stark raving mad. The lady he scorns follows close behind. You must give this Demetrius a change of mind. Take some of this juice and anoint his eye, but make sure Helena's the first one he spies. You'll know this lad by his Anephian's clothes. Come back before the rooster crows.
Then off he flew to complete the task. But Puck was soon to commit a blunder. He'd mix up the couples, and that was no wonder. Hermia and Lysander still wandered around. The home of his aunt was nowhere to be found. The gentle Hermia was most distressed.
Beloved, I am faint. I need to rest. Lysander, go find you out of bed, for I upon this bank will rest my head. It'll be wrong if together we'd stay.
Above the forest, eager Puck flew, until this twosome came into his view.
There is the youth that Oberon chose, for he is wearing just the right clothes, and here is the maiden's sleeping sound. On the dank and dirty ground, they lie apart, another good sign. His romantic intentions, I'll recline. A powerful passion I will induce.
On Lysander's eyes, Puck poured the charmed juice.
So awake when I am gone, for I must to Oberon.
Along came Helena, gasping for air, her heart heavy and full of despair.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace.
She saw Lysander lying in a heap and rushed to him.
Is he dead or asleep? Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run through fire I will for thy sweet sake,
replied Lysander as he leaped to his feet, embracing Helena.
You are my sweet.
You've got to be kidding. I know it's Hermia you want for your bride.
Not a chance, it's you I love, who will not change a raven for a dove.
Give me a break. Do you think I was born yesterday? Your speech to me is like a thorn. How dare you treat me with such scorn?
Then she stomped off in great disdain. Lysander followed with a loving refrain. But what about Hermia, still sound asleep, lying on the grass all curled up in a heap? Soon she woke from a dreadful nightmare. She couldn't find Lysander anywhere.
Lysander, my love, what has occurred? Out of the hearing, gone? No sound? No word? Alack, where are you? Speak if you can.
Then into the night she ran after her man.
As Hermia awoke from her slumber deep, Titania, the fairy queen, wanted to sleep. She called to her fairies who were playing nearby.
I need you to sing me a lullaby.
Peas, Blossom and Moth were the first to begin. Then Cobber the Muster Seed joined right in. They circled Titania, who made not a peep, for she had fallen fast asleep. Oberon peered from behind the trees, then crept towards her on bended knees. What thou seest, when thou dost stake, do it for thy true love take. Be it lynx or cat or bear, leopard or boar with bristled hair, thou wakest. 'Tis thy dear, like when some vile thing is near.
What follows next was hard to conceive. His friends saw a sight they could not believe. When Bottom returned, he had a new head, no longer a man's, but a donkey's instead. They all trembled with fear and stared at his face. The scene that followed was a complete disarray. They all howled with terror and all ran away. Nick Bottom looked puzzled.
Why did they flee? This is gonna make an ass of me. I'll show them that I have no fear. I'll march, sing out, loud and clear.
Titania was sleeping in her flowery bed when Bottom appeared, his arms outspread. Was his ludicrous tune. Her eyes flew open. She wanted to swoon.
Mine ear is much enamoured of thy strain. I am enchanted by your lovely notes. Come, fairy servants, bring him some oats.
She wrapped sweet roses in his hair.
You are beautiful beyond compare. Stay with me forever, I propose.
Puck was delighted with the success of his plan and left Nick Bottom part burrow, part man. Back to his master he flew in a dash, intent to deliver the latest news flash. Oberon was eager to hear of the trick.
How did it go, Puck? What did she pick?
Wait till I tell you. I know you'll be satisfied. She's in love with a monster, a donkey.
What a surprise! This falls out better than I could devise.
Then they heard footsteps approaching their spot. Hermia rushed in, looking quite distraught. Demetrius followed of his own free will.
I won't give you up. I love you still.
Demetrius! You're such a creep. Did you kill Lysander while he was asleep?
I tell you, I'm innocent. I'm sure Lysander's not dead. Why'd you scold me so severely? My only fault is to love you dearly.
Demetrius, I know you speak in jest.
Hermia kept running. He lay down to rest. Oberon watched this scene in dismay and pointed to Demetrius in a worried way.
Did you squeeze the juice into his eyes? Tell me, Puck, I want no lies.
I remember the woman.
Puck was alarmed.
That's not the man I charmed.
Puck, oh Puck! This isn't right! You chose the wrong man! You silly sprite! Fly like the wind, be Helena's guide. Entice her back here, by this man's side. Go quickly, Puck, and fix this mistake. I'll use the flower to cure this heartache.
Oberon advanced and held out the bloom. Demetrius inhaled the enchanting perfume. As the fragrant potion shrouded his mind, Puck appeared with Helena behind.
Oh, Captain, your wishes I did execute, but Lysander is in swift pursuit.
Stand aside! This noise they make will cause Demetrius to awake.
Then, two will woo one, and the sport will have just begun. Shall we their fond pageant see, Lord, that fills these mortals be?
As Oberon and Puck quickly withdrew, Lysander and Helena rushed into view.
Helena, I worship you so.
You mock me. I told you to go.
Then Demetrius awoke.
Oh, Helena divine, tell me you love me. Give me a sign.
Then both of the men dropped to their knees and cried together,
Marry me, please.
Helena couldn't believe her ears, appalled to hear their taunting jeers.
The two of you are acting absurd. In fact, abnormal is the word.
It's me she adores. My affection for her is greater than yours. I'll prove it with the blade of a sword.
This was a challenge that couldn't be ignored. Helena watched in sheer disgust. Neither of them had won her trust.
O spite, I see you are all bent to set against me for your merriment. If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so.
Now, all this caused a quiet hullabaloo. Hermia stumped in, her clothes askew. Her eyes were still wet, her head was hung low. To lose Lysander had been a real blow. Then out of blue, she heard his voice. She wasn't aware of his new love choice.
Lysander, why did you go?
Behold, it's the ugly old crow.
Hermia could hardly believe her ears. This was beyond her wildest fears.
Is this a dream? It cannot be.
It's Helena for me.
Helena's heart and mind were in a blur. She thought they all made fun of her. She turned on Hermia with possession deep.
This game you play is really cheap. Endurous Hermia, I do contend. You join these men in scorning your poor friend.
You're the thief. Your accusation defines belief. Lysander is mine. You stole him by night. You canker blossom. You parasite.
She laughed at Helena.
You painted maypole.
Now Oberon looked on and saw his bad luck.
You must stop this brawling. This is your mess, so make everything right. Hurry now, Puck. Overcast the night.
The sprite obeyed his master's bid, and in the forest quickly hid. He directed the mortals round and round, until one by one they collapsed on the ground. Then he sprinkled the juices told to do in Lysander's eyes, and off he flew.
There the four slept, the earth was their bed. In came Titania, caressing Nick's head. Nick brayed with pleasure in her embrace, and his heart beat at a rapid pace. The King of Shadows watched from afar. This indeed was a sight bizarre. A donkey wrapped in a lady's arms, completely entranced by the creature's charms. Oberon knew he'd done his queen wrong, and this silly behaviour he wouldn't prolong, so he crept closer to Titania unseen, and removed the spell from the eyes of his queen.
Her eyes flew open, as if on cue, and there sat Oberon in her view.
What visions have come to pass? In one I dreamt I loved an ass.
There he lies, sleeping, a wreath of flowers around his head.
Titania was shocked.
I loathe his face. How could I worship a creature so base?
To the Duke we'll retreat. Get this clod on his feet. Return the man's head. Send him back to his team. Make him think it's all been a dream.
With a hint of a smile and a twinkle in his eye, Puck changed the donkey back into the guy. Nick Bottom stood up. His vision seemed blurred. He wondered aloud what had occurred.
I have had a dream most rare, so strange that it is hard to share. I'll have Peter Quint write a song, and I will sing it loud and strong. But now I think I should away to tell my friends and rehearse the play.
Now, all this time, the lovers were asleep, perfectly still, not making a peep. At dawn, there entered in the glen Duke Theseus, Aegus, and their huntsman.
They blew their trumpets loud and clear. The couples leapt to their feet, pale with fear. Theseus demanded,
I'd like to know, were you not rivals a short time ago?
Lysander spoke first.
I beseech your grace, I am amazed at what took place. It was with Hermia I ran away, for the law of Athens would not obey. In a dream I loved Helena, but not any more. Hermia's mine, as she was before.
Hermia's father was not amused.
Then Demetrius spoke out, just as confused.
My love for Hermia has melted like snow. It's Helena my heart will owe.
I decree, instead of a wedding, we'll have 3.
Later, when their vows were done, there was singing, dancing, and lots of fun. The Duke proclaimed,
And now for a play to celebrate our wedding day. I'm told it's a tragic mirth. We'll enjoy it for what it's worth.
I am the prologue. We don't want the ladies horrified, so I'll tell you the story, blow by blow.
What's this? A one-man show? 'Tis the silliest thing I can recall. Oh, now here comes the wall.
In this play, it doth be thought that I, one snout by name, presents a wall, and as such as wall as would have you think that hadn't it a cranny hole or chink. Pyramus and Thisbe, the lovers in our play, whisper through me every day.
Pyramus entered.
Oh sweet, oh lovely wall, show me the opening so small.
Snout held up his fingers to make the crack.
Thanks, courteous wall. Will Thisbe come back?
Then Thisbe arrived.
O wall, hear my moans, my cherry lips as often kissed thy stones. I see a voice.
Pyramus peered through the hole.
Run away with me, Thisbe, you are my soul. At Ninny's tomb we'll meet straight away.
I'll come to you, Pyramus, without delay.
Then Starveling marched to center stage, holding up his lighted cage.
This lantern doth present the moon. I wonder if Frisbee will get here soon.
Starveling moved aside. As Thisbe drew near, a lion roared.
Pyramus, save me!
Her scarf flew off as she quickly fled. The lion grabbed it in his paws, then ripped it in his bloody jaws. He roared again.
Roar!
As he shook his prey, then dropped the cloth and lumbered away.
Pyramus arrived and saw the shred.
Oh my Thisbe, you can't be dead. What stained with blood? Oh dainty duck, come back again. I can't go on without you, dear. My life is over. I'll end it here.
He drew his sword.
I'm so distressed.
Then thrust it deeply into his chest.
I'm dying.
He cried aloud. He listened to hear the cheers from the crowd.
My pulse is ebbing,
Pyramus said. He collapsed on the ground and said,
I'm dead.
Thisbe returned and let out a scream. She staggered back.
Is this a dream? Asleep, my love? What? Dead? My dove? These lily lips, this cherry nose, these yellow cheeks no longer rose, are gone, are gone. His sword is drawn. Come, trusty blade, my breast imbue. And farewell, friends, adieu, adieu.
And with these words, the play was complete. The crowd all clapped. They'd had a real treat. The Duke proclaimed,
We've had a long day, and now to bed we must away. 'Tis midnight, and the bells do chime. Dear friends, it's almost fairy time.
The couples retired to their rooms above, wrapped in the sweetness of their love.
Enchanting music filled the halls. Gentle notes echoed through the walls.
Hand in hand with fairy grace will we sing and bless this place, now until break of day. Through this house each fairy stray, so shall all couples three ever true in loving be. Trip away, make no stay, meet me all by break of day.
The stage was empty.
The lights were out.
The curtain drawn.
Did we really see the sight?
Or was this magic in the night?
Were these fancies what they seemed? Or was it all a midsummer night's dream?